Boom, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 in the place to be. I'm your host, Adam Mill. To the left of me, my co-host, Cuz the Governor. We got Ty, the man off the grid, Jammer One. Hopefully I said that right. On Bizzle, the man in the middle. Pause. You're going to be with us this week. And Skills, Mega, the hip hop scholar. He might be running late. I don't have my mic on me, so mic check, 1, 2, 3. The place to be. I don't have my mic. Hopefully, distortion will not be that bad. Good news on our last video, we hit 7K, and we got 20 more subscribers and counting off their one reaction video. So what's that telling us, fellas? More reaction videos, more things that's in the news. That is the formula. Life is about formula. Math, everything revolves around math. Math is a formula. If you go outside that formula, you will find a hard time to find the answer. So we got to stay within that formula and format. So things get to the point where we can throw our own little jargon and people want to see our ugly faces. You feel what I'm saying? Until then, we got to do more reaction videos, man. Sometimes you just got to fight against the grain. All right. So speaking of reaction videos, we're about to do one with Joe Buttons. See how Bill showed me how to do this. I sent requests. And the video is supposed to be up here somewhere, but better than Jay-Z. We're gonna hear and then we're gonna give our own opinions on it. All right? Roll with that beautiful beam footage.
Blessed with a brand new Mysonne freestyle. Mysonne dropped a freestyle about Hove. Mice, you my man, but in no other world would I be cutting off Michael Jackson to play a Mysonne freestyle. But we're gonna play it. Did y'all hear this?
I did not.
I didn't hear it.
Yeah, I heard it.
This is my letter to Hove. Now first let me start, and there ain't nobody better than Hove. You said a bar for bar as well. You and Nas, but as far as world impact in rap, you did that. You went from a kid that pitched crack and spit facts to a rich black mogul. In fact, your global impact should be studied. Cause shit, we studied Reasonable Doubt, and the way you was weaving in and out of those beats and speaking about those streets, how we was trying to eat, moving work, doing dirt without no cleats was masterful. That's why 30 years later, those masterpieces are so classical, and the stature you acquired deserves to be admired, because you inspired a generation. You showed us that dedication could lead to elevation from a project boy that sold illegal medication to Hove, the cultural leader of a nation. And you gave the streets education and a revelation that escaping death and incarceration was more than a possibility. You embraced the responsibility of breaking down doors and invading corporate America, using punchlines and similes to break it down for us. You did exactly what you told us. You made them pay for what they did to the Cold Crush. That was so tough. But heavy as the head that wears the crown, now everywhere you turn, they try to tear you down. You either Illuminati or being sued by somebody or somebody talking about you while they being interviewed by somebody. Lucky you. Like you described in Lucky Me, but you still navigate through it like a fucking G, and they act like they don't fucking see how you been standing up for blacks. Silently, standing in the gaps from Trayvon and Cap, and I know what really happened with that, but we ain't talking about that. I'm talking about the facts. Fighting for blacks for real. Bringing niggas back home from jail and silently funding the movement and fitting the bill and still taking the shots from your own. At the top of the throne, you all alone, but it don't make you immune from the pain. When the same culture you fought with the votes,
it's a little lengthy, pause.
Is trying to ruin your name, that shit gotta hurt. I know because it hurts me. It hurts to see, but it also hurts to be the subject of such slander. When you frontlining for your people and these suckers talk about you in such a manner, that shit be mind-blowing. You try not bothering even responding. But you a man with pride, so you decide to bust back like, fuck that. And I love that, but this time you shot your own allies, ho. Because we was the ones boycotting. We had our people avoiding shopping at Target. They lost billions pleading with us to put them back on the market. Sure, Meta and Google was guilty too, but history and strategy told us that Target was our target.
Thank you, Mysonne. That was Mysonne.
Well done. Well done. Salute to him. I love him. That's my
friend of the show. That's my brother.
Absolutely.
Thoughts?
Y'all know where I stand on it.
Yeah, I never want to answer again. I don't be want to hear. I like people like using their ability to fucking talk to people and the mess. I like that. I don't want to hear niggas rhyming the whole.
He could have put it on a beat.
Now if he put it on the beat, that's different.
Yeah. I'm just saying for replay value. Like, it's dope to listen to once. Like this.
I got a Lance Rivera her whole verse a cappella the other day, or note, or whatever the fuck happened. Now I got a Mice Hove a cappella. It's just like,
but this starts from a Hove a cappella.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That's how it starts.
That's
like, we can't forget that part.
Not to me, that. There's one word that's important in Hove a cappella.
Hove?
Yeah. That didn't mean for me that it was a cappella time for everybody. Again, I'm not talking directly to Mice, because Mice has a message that he's doing here, but
the Mice is super
I don't want to hear all these a cappellas.
What I like, I mean, I probably would like it on a beat too, but I thought it was dope. It was my first time hearing it. I got to replay it to get all the specifics, but I thought it was dope. And I love when people who are in positions like him speak truth to power. Like, it's hard to criticize Jay-Z as a rapper. It's hard to criticize an institution or whatever. And so for him to do that and put something at risk, to me, is admirable, whether you agree with him or not. And I happen to agree with him. But even if you don't, I still appreciate the courage to stand up and speak out, because a lot of people won't do that.
And Mike's went to Ferguson.
Look, I think that...
All right. Backstory. First of all, what y'all get that freestyle from 1 to 10, 10 being the best?
Well, I want to start by saying that wasn't a freestyle. That was spoken word.
I said the same thing.
That's what you hear on open mic night.
Right.
But yeah, I thought it was great. He painted a beautiful picture. He gave Jay-Z his flowers, and he also kind of like, spoke his piece on like Jay-Z having that deal with Target. So yeah, I liked it. Thought it was good.
Yeah, I thought it was spoken word too, Jan, because when somebody starts saying, and then I seen the stars and it got so bright, and the buildings were just too tall for me to look at, and when they start elongating things, it's no longer a freestyle, bro.
Yep. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, he just for us, but we gotta let it say what it is,
Yeah.
Rapping, but that was spoken word right there.
Exactly. It was touching like the Spider-Man movie, man. Very touchy. What's the backstory on Target? I heard brief things about it, like a national boycott or something like that. Are they in hot water for some racism or something like that? Anybody? People be mad at Jay-Z to the point where they'd be, upset.
I know what the boycott was, but I don't really want to articulate it because I might not have it all together.
I got you.
Might not have it all together. So you got to get that info from somebody else. But it has to do with black businesses and the way Target was, the way Target was working with some of the black businesses.
Yeah, because in 2025, they said Target, they scaled back a lot of the DEI measures that they had. And then later on that year, say 2026, Jay-Z announces a Target exclusive 30th anniversary edition of his debut album, Reasonable Doubt. So rolling that out through Target, they saying that's a slap in the face after you got rid of all the DEI measures a year before with Target, you know what I mean? So a lot of activists and everything was calling for people to boycott Target as a result.
Are they right for that?
That's why, from the activist point of view, they would think that it would make sense to be upset with Jay-Z for that, because they're saying, hold on, if you acted like, first of all, they were upset with Jay-Z too, to go back to the NFL, because Kaepernick and his stance that he had it going on, and they were saying that it was a boycott, like it was being said then that they weren't letting Kaepernick back into the league because of what he was saying about kneeling and everything like that. So later on, then Jay-Z shows up as a part of the whole, the what they call it, I forgot the word. But what do they call this? Entertainment. The entertainment part when they bring it for the
Halftime show.
halftime show. Yeah. So when it comes to that, Jay-Z's the one they got him to pick a lot of the the acts who's going to perform. So they're saying, all right, you're gonna do a deal where you part ownership, trying to get into the ownership part of the NFL now. Meanwhile, we upset with the NFL because they going along with this, making everybody stand for the anthem. That was the controversy at that time.
So Jay basically, how people look at it, how blacks look at it, whoever decides what matters, he on some Sambo type stuff. And this business first, business over color. I'm not black emoji. Okay.
I was just about to say that. Jay-Z is OJ now.
Yeah. So looking back at the poem or the spoken word from Mysonne, shout out to him. Shout out to the Joe Buttons podcast as well. He was like, admiring Jay for his past work, but scoring him at the end, like, look, dog, you know better. And, it's a pattern now. Like Gov just mentioned, it's starting to be a pattern, Like, is this really you? First time you mess up, all right, I get it. You ain't know no better. Or, you acting a fool. The second time, okay, you relapse. Third time, this is who you are.
Yeah.
Here's another Jay-Z line. You are who you are before you was here. I chopped that off. I butchered that. He ain't said that way, but basically you are. Never mind. That's gonna get cut off. But Ty, what's up, man? You quiet?
Time is set.
I don't know if he with us.
Yeah,
he's not with us. Yo, Ty, you with us? I don't think he with us. Normally he be yapping and talking about these type of matters.
But see, this a lot of the it's similar to the backlash to Snoop caught,
With the Trump rally and stuff.
Yeah.
I think these known rappers, man, are double agents, right? And I think that us as black folk, we're catching on to it. We're looking past the persona of the glitters and gold, and the facade of superstar, the celebrity. We don't, and I think a big part of that got to do, fellas. Y'all probably agree with me on this one. A big part to do with that is that we're at our boiling point. We're on edge, We're on edge. It's like I don't even think Martin Luther King or Malcolm X can come back and lead us. We just on edge people. We like fed up. We're at our boiling point. Like, yo, we're not going for nothing no more. We don't care who you are, what's your status, act out of pocket. We're gonna call you out, regardless, And I think that we're at a point where we're non-forgiving at this point because we're tired of, getting smacked on the wrist and forgiving people. Black folk are the most forgiving people on the planet, and that's facts. You know what I'm saying? We keep accepting and okay, we'll bring you back. We understand. Come back. You know what I'm saying? But once you cross that line, man, like the Stacey Dashes of the world and so forth, you can't come back on this side. You did enough damage, And Jay-Z is no exception to the rule. Snoop Dogg is no exception to the rule. Nelly is no exception to the rule. It's as simple as that. If it's one thing if you stay out of the way, right? Okay, I ain't got nothing to do if I'm not in no political parties. I just want to shut up and dribble, right? But it's another thing if you're taking sides. How are you taking sides? You're taking sides due to the paycheck, This this is a big grab. This is a money grab for me. No matter what these big entities like the NFL and Target have done towards my people, you know, they can protest and picket all they want. They ain't putting that 11, 20 million dollars in my paycheck in my account.
Right.
You know, so you get to psych yourself out. You know, let's play devil's advocate. Let's enter their world. You psych yourself out. Say, what do I gain from a material standpoint to now? What do I gain from going outside and kneeling with these people or protesting with them? When food need to be on my table. Bills need to be paid. Lights still being ran. You feel me? Landlords still knocking on the door. Banks still knocking on the door for the mortgage. What me kneeling with these people or protesting with them going to change anything? So I'm going to take that check. I may feel a certain way. Like, damn, you know, my people's going to throw it, and I really want to be with y'all, but I got to, you know, cut that check. I'm just trying to get into the mindset of how they looking at things. Maybe y'all can help me out. Maybe they know something we don't know, bro.
But see, I kind of wonder sometimes, like, one way you could get into it, like, say, for example, a politician has some type of a program that sounds like something you agree with, you know what I mean? But they're coming up with this program as a way to raise money. So they're using you with the celebrity to help raise the money for this, whatever cause this is. Sometimes when you get tied in that way, they tie you to the whole thing, like, in a way. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes now you're stuck by the whole affiliation because of that. Now you're stumping for something that you don't realize that now you're electing the worst person that you can actually get because they coming in with something that was popular that they're using.
Yeah, that's why it's always good to do your homework. It is. Like, before you get into politics, from any level, from celebrities on down, before you get into politics, man, do your research on who you aligning with. You know what I'm saying? Because, like you said, that could flip. You know, we dealing in the world, we dealing in the country, in the world with politics. It's as simple as that. You know, you are judged by the people you sit next to. It's as simple as that. You know, you may hate it, the fact that Target is doing what it's doing to Black entrepreneurship. You may hate it in your heart, but your politics show must go on. You know, so I don't know, man. What you about to say, Jam?
Oh no, I was agreeing. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like I said, we don't know what's going on in the mind of Jay-Z. We just know that from the outside looking in, it just look like money first, money over green over everything.
Yeah, Jay-Z, he's out of touch. You know, his prime directive is money. When your prime directive is money, everything else is secondary. Religion, culture, all of that stuff is second to the money. So,
because he can make all of that bow to his cash. You know what I mean?
Wu-Tang said it. What'd you say, Gov?
No, I said no.
Yeah, Wu-Tang said it. Cash rules. Everything around me. It's as simple as that. Cash rules everything around me, man.
The volcano from my Iceland, they come to take over the rap game like the white man. Hitler to Hitler, photobomb at Yahoo, read it by missile. Watch me do it like the Pointer Sisters. Slip arsenic in your corn liquor. Some bigger L's than that Aubrey nigga. From Pappy Mays in the past, the Mays in the church is vacant. A preacher with Bobby trapped in the basement. I'm laughing, just imagine the Sleepy Beauty had herpes.